Warm good evening to one and all present over here and those who have joined by online. On behalf of the Embassy of India and Ambassador of India to Ireland, His Excellency Akhilesh Mishraji, I welcome everyone for today's event. Welcome me for Indian students pursuing higher education in Ireland, particularly September-October 2023 intake. The purpose of this meeting is to convey Embassy's heartfelt welcome and best wishes to the new batch of students and to connect them or introduce them to few useful or influential groups in Ireland. So for example, one senior students who have joined already and then who are pursuing their studies here, and second, academicians or professors from educational institutions, and then representatives from Indian community associations, and then Indian entrepreneurs or representatives from startup ecosystem in Ireland. So let me give a brief about today's format of the event. His Excellency Ambassador will address the gathering first, followed by these four groups of people. The representatives will share their views one by one. Especially, they will convey how they can play a constructive role or be supportive for Indian students to successfully complete their studies here and also have a pleasant and fruitful time here during the event. And at the last, we have the question and answer, and the fresh batch of students can post their questions and then raise their queries so that the people from other four groups will interact with you. And now, may I request Ambassador His Excellency to address the gathering. Thanks.
Namaskar. Thanks a lot, Yuvraj, for organizing this event. My very warm welcome to all of you, particularly the fresh students who have just arrived in Ireland. And also my sincere greetings to friends who are joining this program virtually. I was very keen to have this program to welcome the fresh arrivals in Ireland because this is a matter of great pride for us that Indian students now represent the largest foreign students in Irish universities. This year, we are expecting around 7,500 fresh arrivals to join from India Irish universities. This is a very significant increase. When I came to Ireland 2 years ago, then the number was around 4,000, 4,500. So it's a very significant jump in the number of Indian students coming to Ireland. Second is, in just 2 years period, I have noticed a very significant, small at this point, but quite significant shift. Earlier, I saw that most of the Indian students who graduated from Irish universities, they got jobs quickly in multinational companies and they did quite well. And some of them stayed here, some of them also went to other countries. But I find here a very significant, very inspiring trend that increasingly young Indian entrepreneurs who have educated from Irish universities, they are getting into startups. And also many of them are, even while studying, they are exploring new ideas. So this was very heartening to me, and I was very kind to organize my roundtable discussion with around 14, 15 Indian startups. So it's a very impressive number, and I expect that if we do the mapping more rigorously, then there would be around 50, 55 Indian startups already in Ireland. So I was very keen to seed this idea to young Indian students who have just joined Ireland, that Ireland is a great place to not only get good quality education, relatively affordable rates, but also imbibe that entrepreneurial spirit. Startup and creativity is bustling in Ireland. I'm very happy to note that Ireland is most successful startup ecosystem. Ireland's success rate in converting startups into full-fledged business entities is very high. It's about 16 to 17% compared to the European Union average of 6 to 7%. So you are in a very interesting place to learn, not only the courses that are being taught to you, but also creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship. How do you build business networks? How do you convert your ideas into business opportunities? So you start early. And Murugraj has invited some senior students who have completed education and also started their own ventures, startups. So they can guide you. Some of the lessons learned, some of the good practices, some of the observations that they have acquired over their stay in Ireland would be very beneficial for our fresh students. So these two are like main ideas behind hosting of this event. Thirdly, I also wanted to mention that while you are here, you may need certain kind of assistance, some kind of services from our embassy. Maybe renewal of your passport or attestation of some document or whatever. So through this program, I wish to extend my heartfelt welcome all of them, all the Indian students who are coming, and through you, please disseminate this message to your friends or colleagues that all the necessary information about processes that we handle are already on the website. So you don't have to worry about how to go about it. In case there is any doubt, any query, any clarification needed, then you are welcome to write to us via email. Also, we have set up an emergency number for crisis situations, emergencies. So please spread this message that we are here to help. We are here to guide. And don't feel that you are alone in a far away country. We are here. We care for our students, and we'll be very happy to assist and facilitate your stay, your productive education. So stay connected. And thirdly, we are very also delighted to see that the Indian diaspora itself, which is resident here, is growing, it's coming of age. The Indian diaspora in Ireland now represents the largest non-European diaspora in Ireland. And also we are very privileged to have, although it's a relatively small community compared to some other countries like UK or Canada or US, Australia is a small diaspora, but we are rich enough to have different linguistic groups, different regional communities. So whichever part of India you come from, you will find a critical mass of people to engage with. So we are working together with different state communities, different linguistic communities, and we are discovering that they have within this small community, we have a lot of cultural talent, a lot of literary skills, a lot of poetic and artistic creativity. So embassy is also connecting with the diaspora to host regional events, regional theme events, like different state cultures, their potential tourism, handicrafts. So using local talent, we are showcasing different cultures, different state, regional cultures. So I would welcome all of you to also participate. We circulate information about our state-themed events or other specific cultural and other literary events. So on our social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So if you follow any of them, you will get to know what we are going to do. So please join them. You can also participate in poetic events or Hindi Day events or other events that we host. Are different linguistic events we host. So we welcome your participation. Also, lastly, the Indian diaspora in Ireland can be a good source of comfort. I'm encouraging the diaspora leaders to also reach out to the students who are coming to Ireland from their states, their cities, their districts. So so that the fresh arriving students do feel that they have someone to look up to, someone to connect, some kind of linkage. Also, the like situation in Ireland and also is also evolving, particularly since the Ukraine situation. Ireland has received about 100,000 uh, refugees. So there is pressure on accommodation front, there is pressure on healthcare front. Also, there is some pockets of like sentiments against foreigners. So the security situation also needs to be monitored. So my advice is that please don't do anything which is inherently prone to security risk. Like avoid traveling in the night, avoid traveling alone to areas which are like notorious for security activity. So to the extent possible, your security lies in your precautions. So this is important. Take care of yourself, and also if you are moving, then move small groups. And also in the class, my advice is that I hear that many of the classes are predominantly like Indian students. So this is not a good trend. For benefiting from an international education, it's important for you to have broader connections, connectivities, and linkages with your batchmates. So my request is that although it's very comforting to have a big Indian community in your class itself and then actually engage with them, but do reach out to non-Indians, particularly the Irish friends, also friends from other countries, because this opportunity you will not get. I think, in fact, this is the main distinction between a class being held in Bangalore or Mumbai or Delhi or in Silicon Valley of US or Canada. So do take advantage of the diversity and also the opportunities. Also, not just focus on the course content, but also try to absorb multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary knowledge. To the extent, just by observing your university, you will get to know a lot of interesting things. Future will demand more and more human networking skills, human connection skills, empathy, and also combination of technology management tools as well as human interaction. So please stay positive, be kind to yourself, be kind to your colleagues, partners, friends. My very warm greetings, welcome to all of you, and sincere good wishes and prayers for your happiness, your well-being, and your success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a very comprehensive speech and covering almost all the aspects, sir. What the other four representatives from other four groups are about to say, we have comprehensively given an overview about it. So now, shall we move on to Indian entrepreneurs in Ireland? May I now invite Mr. Aloka Anand from Maya Digital Privacy to share his thoughts.
Sure. Thank you.
Uh,
Can you hear me?
I may request you to brief about the scope of entrepreneurship here and the nature of startup ecosystem in Ireland, and the role of students, what they may play, how they may get beneficial, how they can spend time fruitfully by involving themselves in activities related to startup or entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Sure. I'll try my best. So I'm Aloka Anand. Hello, everyone. Nice to be invited to this talk. Good to see you all. And thank you, sir, for organizing this. So I have been working in the industry for the last 19 years. And I started this company last year. It's definitely a difficult job for any one of you or any one of us to leave a paid job and get into entrepreneurship. But yeah, it's not necessary that you have to leave a job and get into entrepreneurship. There are several ways, and this is what I'll try to update. And of course, if there are questions, and afterwards I'll leave my email ID and you can contact me. So, I mean, my company works in the area of data privacy. So that itself is the first lesson. So what you would have seen in your life till now and what you'll see in Europe, you will find many different opportunities. So like data privacy is not so prominent in Asia and India and stuff, but it's very, very prominent in Europe. So what we do is we make software to help organizations use data in compliance with the regulations like GDPR and so on. So it's a completely different opportunity, which you will see in Europe and not in India or any other. I mean, most of the geographies, it's still budding. So first thing is look for opportunities. The second thing, I mean, I'll not take much time, but keep it precise. The Irish ecosystem for entrepreneurs is very, very well, say, groomed by the country's, say, Enterprise Ireland, that's the body. And they have many programs in which you can be joining a startup as an intern. There are many paid programs. Anu is on the call. She may talk about many other initiatives as well, where the college itself will put into certain projects which you can apply and you can engage with the startup. So many of these are unpaid engagements as well, but then you learn a lot. And then you work mostly with new companies, I'll say. So startups doesn't mean the company which is just started last year. A startup can be in the startup status for up to 5 years. But yeah, the startup means the work culture is different from a big multinational and things like that. So that would be my primary advice, to keep a lookout. The Enterprise Ireland. So you can search for it and you'll find many such, information from Enterprise Ireland, which is the primary body, which also invests in startups. And at the same time, it promotes different agencies which run startup programs. Right from the time you arrive, you can work, I guess, for up to 20 hours in a week. And you can look for joining any of the startups which can help you gain experience in the area which you want to make your career. At the same time, give you a feel of how to work in a startup. So I think that's the best, short and precise way to go for it. So you have to look for the right company, and don't look for only Indian companies or Indian entrepreneurs. Sorry for that. But yes, there are a lot of startups from anyone in this country. And I don't mean to, like, say that Irish people are not having so many startups, but there are Irish people here. There are many startups from French people, from Spanish people. There are people from Brazil. So I'm in a community where we have more than 100 startups from Ireland. And there are people from all the different nationalities. And they love to work with new ideas, new students. So don't hesitate. Startups don't have a big HR team. So you can directly approach the company which you feel interested in. You can directly approach the person and say that I have interest in this topic. And would you have a position for me? And startups don't have big HR things. That's the good part. So you can directly approach people and then they can engage you in one of the projects. So it can be paid or unpaid depending on your skills as well. So like we took an intern from India, from Griffith College last year. And her skills were not matching to what we wanted to do, but the area was matching. So she was in the information security area. So it was almost 6 months when we tried to train her in different technologies. And then now she's an employee, a part-time employee of the company. She's still studying. So she had a 2-year program. So you can join any startup of your choice and then learn and grow. So I'd like to stop here. Otherwise, I can keep talking for hours. Thank you.
Very question now, Ms. Ontilda, who is building a new startup in Ireland now, and she's already well experienced in startup ecosystem here. So please share with us.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank His Excellency Shri Akhilesh Mishra ji for inviting all of us and Mr. Murugaraj for giving a wonderful introduction. And I would also like to welcome all the freshers. I did interact with few of you here, but it's always interesting to join a new college in a new country. I can speak from my experience. I came to Ireland almost 10 years ago. I did my master's from Trinity College Dublin in molecular medicine. Um, Initially, when I started, and I can totally understand that it can really get intense in this next 12 months that you're going to have. There will be a lot of studying and, of course, understanding the culture. And, of course, as Sir was saying, that also basically enjoy the Irish life that you have here, the different cultures, different students from different part of the world. So it will get a bit intense, but at the same point of time, it's very exciting. I really enjoyed my time in college. And back then, almost 10 years ago, again, there weren't so many Indians in the courses. I think I was one of the 3 Indian students in my course. And now, of course, there's a huge change. But I can definitely say it has its own advantages. Now you have more people from India, more students. They bring a lot of experience with themselves. And the other thing which I noticed was people are coming and joining different type of courses. I mean, it's not just IT or kind of healthcare, pharmaceutical. There are people I was just speaking to who have come to do design courses, medical devices design, and then there was one person in global health. So I have to say that has definitely changed in this past 10 years. Having said that, clearly there is a lot of people from different parts of India who are actually starting their own ventures. I am very early in this. I literally have started this year. So I worked in both research and in industry for the past 10 years. And now I have started this venture. It's in the area of genomics and precision medicine. So I'm very excited to start this. And one thing which I would definitely echo what Aloka just mentioned in terms of reaching out to the different bodies and understanding the framework, how the startup or the companies are basically functioning in Ireland. But one very important thing is networking. Clearly in Ireland, I would say networking is very important. Talk to people, understand what they're doing, explore different areas they're working in. And even though you came with a mindset, let's say that I'm going to study this, and I'm going to do this. Like I wanted to do a PhD and do postdoc and be in academia, but I moved to industry. So, and now I'm starting my own company, which is completely different from what I would have done 10 years back. So you will explore various aspects of your own personality evolving over time. And as and when you meet interesting people, you will get a lot of guidance as well. So definitely do a network. The Indian Embassy has now provided us a great platform to do that. So definitely take advantage of that. And also, I would say in Ireland, I think community is a very big thing, which is kind of one thing which is similar between the Indians and the Irish people, that they all believe in community and helping each other. So definitely take advantage of that as well. People are very warm. If you ask for help, they will definitely help. It's almost like that. I think another thing which I would like to mention is do reach out to the support that you have in your college. That is also very important, and it has changed over time. And I believe if there is somebody from the colleges, like, I definitely go for clinics. Like there are CV clinics, there are career counseling clinics, attend them, understand the different ways, how it works here. It's definitely a little bit different from how it works in India. So try to understand that, embrace it, and I think that will help you. And definitely reach out to us. I mean, we are available if you need any help in terms of understanding the systems or job market in general, any question, we are very happy to help. So yeah, that is a little bit from my side, and thank you so much. And welcome.
You spoke about networking. So for freshers, where do they go about networking?
One way is definitely there's a lot of in college, definitely you will have a lot of networking sessions. Do attend those. And similar to the events that Indian Embassy is like arranging, keep an eye for the social media pages. So you will find people, their names coming up. So reach out to them. I did. I actually reached out to a lot of people once I started this company through the embassy page, and I told them that I saw you on Indian Embassy, you did visit here, could you please help me out? And they were very supportive. So these are obviously some of the ways you can do, and also LinkedIn is very useful. So DM them, be polite, just tell them, can I speak to you for 10 minutes? Most of them would come back to you. So I think, yeah, and there are usually in the induction period and also at the end of your course, there will be some networking events. So make sure that you attend that. So I think we'll do it. Thank you.
So thank you so much. That's a keyword, networking. So when Ambassador in his initial remarks has indicated, students, they may think that India in Ireland in the class, but now you end up in India and India. So that's the reality. But at the same time, this networking may be the key to break that. So you can open up yourself. So some of the fruitful points shared here, and we have more people to join and then give you more such options. And now let's move on to academicians. We are here with us today, Mr. Lokesh Joshi, Professor, University of Galway, who is joining online. And may I request you, Professor, to give a brief about, in general, academicians, you are playing a major role in their learning process. You can share your expectations, what you may expect the students to present in their class, and how to productively spend their time in the campus, including curricular activities, co-curricular activities, and extracurricular activities, with a special focus on the clubs and associations available within the campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Namaste to everybody. Thank you, Ambassador Ji. Thank you, Murugaradji Ji, and thank you, everybody else. It's really great to be part of this community now. Can you hear me all right? Yeah, thank you. So really, I was actually very impressed, inspired by the two former speakers from an entrepreneurship world. And I've been on that journey for the last 10, 12 years myself, being a faculty. So maybe first aspect would be that when the students come from India, yes, it's important to study. Yes, it's important to kind of pursue their goals in education setting, but they should also learn the global culture, the global way of being a citizen of the world. You also represent India now when you leave India. So with that comes a sense of responsibility as well in whatever we do, whether we're in a class or in a shop or wherever we are. So in a way, we all become the micro ambassadors of India. And represent our country, our culture, wherever we go. And I think we have to be very proud of where we come from. In terms of what Murugaradji was saying, in terms of universities, and some of my colleagues are here from different universities as well, universities are always welcoming international students. And it was discussed before, the word network is very important. And networking can be done as a student, a newcomer student. There are Indian societies, there are entrepreneurship societies, there are societies for medtech, for IT, for all different things. So I think one thing I would encourage our students to be, I guess, participating in the kind of the social, cultural, extracurricular life that's available outside the classroom for them. I remember leaving India almost 35 years ago, and one of the things I did was to learn about other cultures. And I think that really helps you in the long run. I think great thing about Indian students is that they come with their dreams. They are ambitious, they are hardworking. And as Ambassador emphasized, I think really the new trend of becoming entrepreneurs is going to be very successful journey for students. You learn a lot by being an entrepreneur. You don't always have to be very successful, but you learn a lot of life lessons there. The other thing that I can share with students is that the faculty are very cooperative here, and it's a very supportive environment. So please feel free, don't ever be shy of whatever experience you're going through. You reach out to your faculty, your department, your administrators, and it's their responsibility to support you. And they obviously, they are very helpful anyway. But also, as we discussed during the last conversation as well, look after your mental, emotional health as well. Because you're all away from your families where you come from, and this is maybe your first foray outside of India. But as the Honorable Ambassador mentioned, you have a home away from home. And in addition to the embassy, we are all part of your families here. So you can reach out to any of us if you have any issues, and we'll do our best to support you in your professional career, but also in your social and emotional life as well. So, feel free to reach out to us anytime. Thank you, Murugaji.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor, for your wonderful remarks. And let's continue with Dr. Anu Sani from National College of Ireland, Dublin.
Thank you, Murugaji. And well, I wasn't prepared for this, but every time I was thinking I can add so much to it. So first of all, thank you very much, His Excellency and Mr. Murugaji. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I still have your gift pending, sitting with me. I was thinking I will come in person and give it to you, but somehow there was a mix-up with my email. I just got the invitation half an hour ago. So I will definitely come in person. And next time, I hope that His Excellency could come to attend our event. So we did miss you there. Okay, thank you very much. And I just want to echo the ambassador and what other people have already mentioned, Murugaji. And thank you, Aloka, for noticing my picture here. Thank you very much. Now, I will actually echo that Indian people, Indian students are really very, very competent. And that is already demonstrated. Most CEO of big organizations are Indian origin or Indian, even in politics. So if you look at any big organization, when you go to the source, key people, they're Indian. And I'm really very proud of it. And the other thing which I was saying, most of our students, by the way, I didn't introduce myself, so let me first talk about myself. I'm Anu Sani. I'm a lecturer in National College of Ireland. I'm also program director for MSc Data Analytics and also program director for innovation and commercialization. So innovation, entrepreneurship, all that is very close to my heart. And I did get an award just to, doing kind of growing the culture of innovation in our college, and which started with our collaboration with Citigroup. And they had a very good program called City Upstart. And we were the smallest college when we joined. So the 5 universities were Trinity College, DCU, Queen's Belfast, and Limerick Universities, Ulster University when we joined. And I knew when we teach the students, so I will say a few things. Sorry, Murugaji, just give me this when I tell students that, okay, you should stop speaking. This is what, when I was talking to the person, the head who was leading the City Upstart from Citigroup, and he was showing me all the projects which were presented. And I said, I know my students can do much better. They already have the skills, the capabilities, the dedication and sincerity. So they have all this hard work. with them. And we have people to demonstrate it. For example, Aloka. Aloka has been so successful. We have been scheduling a meeting so that we can just work together, academia and a company, but he always is, has another opportunity. He gets so busy collecting awards also. So congratulations, well done. We can do that later sometime, but there are so good ideas. And it's not only the ideas, they change, they learn very quickly. So I'm going to encourage you guys. Well, city has stopped that, discontinued that that initiative during COVID. It hasn't resumed, but I am in discussion with city once again. As you know, Parag Sharma, they're the global head of AI. So we might resume it, but I'm just saying it that Indian students are very good. They do have idea. The one thing they may actually work upon, just don't be shy. Get out there. Don't think you don't have it. You have much more than other people because they can talk well. Okay, so just learn that. That's my first advice. And I know the ambassador did ask, where are the communities? So the communities, even look at Microsoft. Microsoft has so many programs, initiatives for startups, and they do give cloud resources for free. So that's one community. And most now innovation is so important. You would see in big organization, innovation department is a separate entity. Then in universities also, innovation is there. So gone are those days when we, recruiter just look at your transcript, they see your grades, and then they just say that, okay, you are taken. When I give reference, their question, is this person dedicated? Is this person helpful? Is this person team player? So look at these. Do they have problem solving skills? Do they have, engagement? So there are other skills which are so much appreciated, and you all have it. And in fact, Indians are excellent. I may be sounding very stereotype because I'm just keep saying Indian are great, but I teach masters data analytics in NCI, and as the ambassador said, 95% students are Indian students, and we have thousands, students by now, and every time they're so good, like whatever initiative. So I did talk about City Upstart. We participated in 3 years. We had the first prize, we had the second prize, we had the first and second prize. So every time we won because the students are really excellent. Okay, so don't undermine yourself. When you have an idea, usually what you will find that the idea, and you get discouraged also, you will see, oh, somebody else is doing it. Don't be discouraged. This is actually validating that you are on the right path. Now what you have to do is refine it a bit further. Okay, so you know that what is your unique selling point, what is the differentiator. Okay, so don't give up. I have many tips, and as Aloka said, there is a lot of support from Government Enterprise Ireland. Starting from Entrepreneur Student Award, there is a competition which happens in March, first week of March. So just Google this, and you can see you can participate. In fact, you can participate in teams also. Okay, so you can do that. Now, another thing what you can do, you can look at Enterprise Ireland, but I would say, do talk to all big colleges, universities have, these innovation department. Just go and talk to them, because they would be having processes. How can a student, register their idea? What is the next step? For example, in NCI, the student or even the lecturer, the first step is to fill up invention disclosure form where you actually can claim your IP, and then you are saying that, okay, this is my idea. Now, it doesn't have to be individual, it can be a team project, and then you can take it from there. So then our commercial manager, myself, we validate the idea. In fact, we have funded the company startup fees. So it is, I know the setup fees is not that high, so which is just in hundred of euros, but we have also supported a patent. So if your idea is patentable, the college picks up the cost, and the IP does belong to the student or the lecturer. So we don't keep the IP. So it's your company. If you want to set it up, you will have full control. We just support you, to stand on your feet. Okay, so there are different programs, starting from Frontier program, New Frontier program, which most universities do. So you can just find out from your college, your university, Google New Frontier program, where you can apply in any university. And I know there are students, Indian students, who have set up their company. In fact, one of them is based in National College of Ireland. So he's in the incubation center. And he did come to Indian Embassy, and he talked about the company and the challenges and the processes. So then there is a lot of grants. So the good thing in Ireland, they do want to support any innovation. Okay, of course, they have their own criteria that you must have 10 employees later on within 3 years, you should be exporting, but they are very flexible. Okay, so just go talk to even your lecturer, whosoever you are very friendly with, or you're very welcome to reach out. I'm really very honored that I'm invited and I've given an opportunity to connect to you guys and to be part of it. So I can put my email address in the chat and I can help you with this. I think I should go quiet now, but if there is anything, please, I'll be very happy to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anuji, for sharing different avenues for the students to contribute and then shine in doing their career here. And now we welcome one more academician, Ms. Surabhi Gautam, Professor, ATU Ireland, to share their thoughts with the students here.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Akhilesh and Murugaji. Sorry, I didn't know I have to speak out something. I just standing in. Anyway, I'm very happy to, and I'm just listening to all the speakers here, and I can say only one thing. Whenever Indian student or any Indian person they can decide something, to do, there is nobody can stop them to do anything. That's the only thing, because we are very hardworking, and whenever we decide anything to do, we take it so much granted, like we work hard even though we didn't know anything. I'm the lecturer in ATU Galway, and I can see like here some of the students, we have actually, when I joined 3-4 years back, so there were only couple of students there, there's no staff member, and I feel like I'm alone. But then I just start making my own things, and I know it's not easy for anyone whenever you just feel like you are the alone, but slowly I know we were hardworking, we know everything. So I think I'm agree with the Anu. We know everything, only just we have to realize that in our mind we can do it and go it. So I think that's the thing our Indian student has to decide. They can do whatever they want, only just maybe they have to just concentrate themselves and decide what exactly they want to do. If they know what they want to do, they can do it easily. And I'm 100% sure like there's a staff and other parties who are supporting you. So you have to decide what you want to do. So that's I can say only.
We can like to highlight about the clubs or associations which are available there. So
yeah, actually I'm involved because I'm a highly part. Even though I'm lecturing here, but that's my side, another job. Like I'm the part of a Indian wider community here. I'm the cultural coordinator. I'm the part of that community. And the same thing I'm doing in ATU also, because last year when I realized we are here, even though we are very few of here, but we're not doing any celebration. And I missed that part. So I started last year, first time Diwali in ATU. And the special thing is that all of the head of the schools and our president was there. That's happening first time. So actually they didn't know what is Diwali means for them, you know. And when they are there, we have a very big lecture theater hall. And normally we used to do the very important programs in that hall. And that hall is just 2 rows full. Nothing is more than that. But when I did Diwali celebration, it was fully packed. So around 300 students were there. And then my head of the school, they just came to me. How did you did this? Can you tell me? Because last year, just 2 weeks ago, they have 50 year of celebration of GMIT. And there are just 2 rows filled. So he just asked me, how did you do that? Like, we can't do our Christmas celebration like that. I said, okay, whenever you're planning Christmas, just call Indian community here. We will do it. We'll make it like that. So because we know how to, you know, interact the peoples and what is the important thing to invite and when we're inviting something. And we important thing, what I feel, all the Irish ladies has bindi on that day. And all the Irish men in our ATU campus has a tika. So I can feel, and Bollywood music is on outside and Gayatri Mantra and all this. So that's what I want to see from, I think then I realized, oh, this is the thing I was missing from the last 3-4 years. And now I can say I'm Indian, I'm proud, I'm Indian. Everyone's saying, whenever you are doing next time Diwali. So I said, don't worry, we'll do. And this year, actually, I gave advice to my president, Olaf Lyon, like, can we do Diwali in a different campuses? Because what happening, you know, I think our system is like here, like this, if we are in Galway, we didn't get chance to meet other Indian students who are in Donegal and other, because we have 9 campuses in ATU. So it's very hard to meet them. And then I just gave her advice, can we do in different campuses and we can organize a picnic bus. So in which bus we can share the idea, we can share the food. So people, students who are just feeling homesick, so they don't feel like that, you know, they just feel like home away home. So she is very happy. And now this year we are planning to do in Donegal, and we are planning to organize a bus, so which can bring all the other campuses students to Donegal, and we stay there. So that's the thing I think I'm planning, and to this is my dream, which is coming true now. So, and in Galway also, we have a very big Indian community. We do all the celebrations. So even though people start saying celebration time, we don't want to stay at India because we are celebrating better here. So I think this is the thing when we are, you know, away from India, so we are missing, and things are happening in the right direction, right way. So that's what everyone is looking. So this is, I can say, the culture part and the teaching. I'm combining both of them together now. Thank you, everyone. I think I didn't prepare actually anything because I didn't know I have to speak out something.
This is just informal. I can have. Now, let's move on to senior students, the third group here. We have a few students, senior students who have joined by online. Devi Prasad Mohanty, Divya Swarupa Mohanty, and Neha Parik. So one by one, you can share your thoughts with the new fresh batch of students here. May I call upon first Devi Prasad Mohanty. And in particular, maybe you can brief about the experience we have gathered in Ireland so far, which is a treasure because we have put in 1 or 2 years here. That you can share with them. Second, you may share your do's and don'ts with them, and then suggest them how effectively they can spend their time here. What are the things you have missed? That is the best important, most important thing. What are the things you missed to do this in the past few years, so that they can catch up in the beginning itself. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. This is Devi Prasad. And I came to Ireland, Dublin in the year 2021, in September 2021 batch from Dublin Business School. And I was pursuing my course, MBA in Finance. basically. So I would like to tell something. I used to be a very introvert guy when I was back in India, and I hardly mingle with anyone. But when I came here, and the first and foremost thing which I learned is mingling with everyone, and having some gathering. And as rightly said by everyone over here, as my fellow mates, that the mingling with everyone, having social networking is very important. And that happened when I came here in Ireland, and I have a huge ODIA association over here, and in which Sanjeev sir is associated. And anyways, Ashish is there, who has asked me to join today's the program which is being held here. So the first and foremost thing which I understood is networking is very important in terms of your personal grooming, in terms of your professional grooming. It is extremely important. And the second thing is that during my stay over here in the 2 years, I have realized over the period of time that the more you have a bet networking, the more you have gathering over here, it's very important for you to grow in that aspect. I mean, I mean to say that if you are completing your course and you are in 1G and you start looking for jobs, it is extremely important you should have such gathering, such networking over here, because that will help us, that will enhance in getting cracking jobs back in Ireland. So I mean, even though you keep on trying your jobs, but if you are having a good network over here, so cracking a job becomes a bit more easier. However, I mean, your talent is equally important, but yes, networking is also important. And the most important thing what I want to suggest to everyone is, and as far as my experience is concerned, that have proper networking, keep mingling with people, and try to gain maximum experience from your part-time jobs as well. Start speaking with the different culture of people. I mean, don't only get mingled with Indians, have mingle with Mexican, Italian, Brazilians, Irish, everyone. Try to understand their culture, try to understand their how they live, how they speak, so that you will be well acquainted. And when you will be attending the real-time interview, these all things will definitely help you in collaborating and doing while attending the interview and cracking the interview. So yes, so we'll try to learn each and every culture, learn it, and it's very enjoyable and very happening. And I believe that if you stay in Ireland for a longer term, it is very I mean, I believe that anybody over here can have a very fruitful career ahead, as far as my experience is concerned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Devi Prasad. Now let's call upon Ms. Divya Swarupa Mohanty.
Thank you so much, esteemed His Excellency. I'm very glad to have had an opportunity like this. Good evening to everyone present. I am Divya Swarupa. I have recently completed my graduation from Trinity College Dublin in genomic medicine. And right now it's just probably been a month that I got my degree. So I'm in the transition period where I'm trying to learn new things and apply and see what's best. In my opinion, of this 1 year gap that I've been in Dublin, the best thing I've understood is Dublin is very accepting. It does not make you feel left out. Ireland in general is very accepting. It does not make you feel left out. But talking about the little dark side that's a little less explored and is probably not a lot talked about, is that you still feel like you still face racism. Yes, it's there. You face it, be it in your workplace, very mildly maybe, but you do feel. But the best thing to deal with it is not get affected a lot, because it's never too much that it'll pressurize you or it'll put you down or anything that is like going to shatter your self-confidence or things like that. You have to work with that, and you will have to be mentally prepared enough that these are the little shortcomings that will be there no matter which country you move to, wherever you move to, like once you're leaving your country. These are the minute things that will definitely be there. So this is a little something that you have to be prepared. God forbid you don't face any of this. That's a really good thing. I would pray that nobody faces this, but still it's little present and you can face it at times. And a second don't, I would say, is not take everybody's advice up the sleeve. At the end of the day, it is you who's going to tackle the problem. It is you who's going to tackle the situation, and it's you who's going to come out of the storm. If you try to take up everybody's advice and work on it, you'll end up nowhere. So listen to everyone, but try to gather what's best for you, because you know yourself best and how you function in adversities and work in situations like that. And one of the major do's is, I have also heard everybody say that, is network. You can only thrive in a community like this if you network, if you expand your community, if you talk to people, if you are seen, if you are heard, if your presence is noted. Otherwise, you would just be a lost voice in the crowd, and it won't hold a lot of significance at the end of the day. So you have to stand up for yourself, even if nobody else does, even if nobody else believes in your thoughts, ideas. If you yourself believe, stand up for it, speak up, and go ahead in that direction. And there's one more thing that I would like to request, if there could be a better forum for that, or at all, if there is any forum present for that, that I may be informed about, or I could be guided about the same. At the end of each course, what happens is you are left on your own. It's really good and nice if you have connections, if you have people to guide you. So as you go to them for suggestions, for guidance, what to do next and all. But if you don't, it's like you're a little lost as what I have to do next. You either Google things, you YouTube, ask to YouTube and all of that stuff. But if there could be a forum where I could go to ask my doubts genuinely, be it about basic things like stamp 1G renewal, or things like where I can go for career advice, or what stream I can choose, how do I curate things, or someone I can talk to more openly. I see there are a lot of amazing academicians in the panel today who have spoken a lot about like how I can take forward my ideas and innovations that I really did not know about. Had I not had an opportunity to be a part of this, I could have never known this. So something like a forum where these things are more heard, more seen, and more talked about could really be appreciated, especially by the students who are recently completing the graduation and are trying to fish out for something better. Like not everyone wants to settle in a part-time, or, try to juggle between jobs and try to look for something. Some people really want to focus their all and give their all in one thing, and they're working on the things that they're studying about. So that would be really, really appreciated. And once again, I take my time to thank the Embassy of India and His Excellency for organizing such a wonderful meetup, and that where we're getting a forum to speak out what we're actually feeling, which is very rare, and I'm really grateful for that. I thank all the amazing panelists who have contributed beautifully to this discussion today. And I also thank Irish Odia Association, that because of which I have been able to be a part of this talk. So with this, I rest my case. Thank you so much, you all, for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay Swarupa, for your wonderful inputs. And now we invite Ms. Neha Parikh.
Yes. Hello. Good evening. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. And I'm on behalf of Irish Odia Association. So according to my experience, I had come here 1 year ago, and as I am Vijay Swarupa's course mate too. So we both had a pretty like a big roller coaster ride in this course. And I had one thing I learned about here was like how many responsibilities you can take over on yourself, and how much worth you gain about yourself, how much you learn about yourself when you're alone handling. And I used to do part-time too. I used to juggle between part-time, and I used to do the studies too, and it was very difficult, but it was actually a good process and good journey. So I would recommend that you have to follow what's right for you. And there are many there's networking, which is a different another thing which I'll say. But at the start, networking is very difficult when you are in a foreign land, and it's hard to find the people of your caste and culture here. So of course there are associations, societies which you can join, and they are pretty helpful really. For example, the Irish Odia Association, they are actually very helpful and very active and everything. So and the other thing is that it's like a beautiful journey when once you start, and then you come to know how many struggles you come across, and how many times you have to fall and rise again. So according to me, it has been a beautiful journey. And plus, I love traveling so much that I try to explore so many places in Dublin, and it's good to explore yourself through that. So I think it's been pretty good journey, and I have recently completed my course too, and I'm searching jobs in my field. So of course, as Divya said, that we need a forum or something who can guide us as well, so that we also can come to know what are the best options for us and everything. So I think that's pretty much, and I would suggest all the new upcoming students, fresher students here to actually focus on building connections, making actively volunteering in the society, so that they can come to know a lot of stuff. They can come to know about a lot of things, what's happening in Dublin, and what's happening in their field too. And that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Embassy of India and Their Excellency. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Megha. And now one more senior student who has joined by online, Shreyas Pillai. And we have noted here many of us are telling networking, the importance of networking, because through this forum, not everyone can be shared. So if you network, then maybe more personally they can advise you. So that's the importance of networking. Let's continue with Shreyas. In the meantime, maybe we can move on. Right. And now the next last group. This is our Indian diaspora. So may I invite Dr. Puri to address the gathering and advise the students, and in particularly the diaspora members are immensely supportive, helping students in respect of accommodation. So far we have seen. In addition, also we can suggest, since you are conducting many events, like social events, cultural events, under the banner of Indian community associations, we can invite and involve the student community also, so that they will get benefited, and they have a comfort zone. They may have a comfort zone, and also they meet like-minded people, and they may feel like at home. So this is one of the suggestions. And now over to you, Dr. Puri.
Thank you very much for inviting me over here. Thank you, Excellency Mishraji and Charles Murgaji. Thank you very much. I just got the call yesterday that we should be talking to them, so I decided to talk to young, settlers of our country. Whenever you go, wherever you go, you have to take your culture with you. Don't forget your culture. And your culture tells you a lot of things. You must be connected with your roots all the time. And the roots are here also. We have adopted these countries, but that's our parent root. So you have to, and you are always acting as the ambassador of the country. There's a saying, "Hamni change purani ko." I'm not good, but there's nobody bad. So you have to be in that sort of a thing, that you have to prove yourself to be good. Right thing at the right moment, right meditation, right thinking, right endeavor, all the time. Lord Buddha said some years ago, all these things. But there is another one, your own hard work. No apple polishing, hard work. Courtesy begets courtesy. You have to be courteous. You have to have a good relationship with your peers. The peers could be any level. And make yourself known to everybody wherever you go. Who you are, from where you are, and what you do. And if you have got any ideas, innovation, come up with it, discuss with. I invented one thing here for a, scavenging of the anesthetic gases, from the theater or pediatric circuit, which were very open, and we were inhaling those gases. I invented it. I was nominated for a gold medal with the College of Surgeons. Not got it, but nomination is sufficient, And but I talked with the UCD also. I talked with I tried to pay attention, but since now the better systems have developed in the world, which are connected with the new machines have come up, so that the scavenging is there within the theater, so that the people who are working there, they don't suffer with occupational hazards. So that's also important. Wherever you go, occupational hazards are not only, the harmful effects of the gases or other things, safety, talking, emotional safety, emotional atyachar nahi hona chahiye, emotional safety should be there, mental health should be there. If you are not feeling something, if there's a bullying with you, there is all the committees are there here with bullying. You can go to the grievance committee in your college, talk to them, and they will help you out. There are other people, like you can approach one of the associations or anything, people will guide you up what to do and what not to do. There are a lot of associations here, the more than I think 60 associations, within Ireland. PICI is one of them, SICI is there, Ireland Council of Indian Ireland Council is there. And there are many of them. ITWA is there for Telugu people, Tamil people. They are teaching their languages also. You can contact whatever region you are coming from. You can get the Malayali Association. They are there. If you are a Malayali, you can talk to them and they will help you out. People will help you out. If anybody talks to me, rings me anytime, I don't mind helping them out. Whatever I know, I can guide it, I came in the country 88 here, and I'm still here. I was even selected by the HSC to go to India and recruit doctors here. We brought them here. First thing we told them that if you don't know a thing, you just say, I don't know, so that somebody can tell you. But if you say, I know it, and then you can't do it, then you are gone here. You can't progress further. So you must be truthful to yourself. Like everybody talk networking. So networking is yourself. You have to go and speak up. Not irrelevantly, relevant, right thinking at the right time you speak. Not for the sake of speaking, but you have to speak yourself. Be truthful to yourself and be determined, dedicated and motivated. If you have got three things, or even if you want to make up a company here, you require three things, 3 M's, what we call it: money, manpower, and a management. And the best thing is fourth is the good mental health. You should be determined and dedicated to go for that. Money can be created. If you don't have money, money can be created here. There are government agencies which give grant to you for your projects. Even for the opening of any company, they will give you website making design. They can throw you 1,500, but you can make up for the website, or you can get for an office also. There are enterprise sections. If you don't have a rented building or anything, you can go to them. They may give you a room and this one, and they will charge you a nominal rent, what, €50 a month. You can easily afford, and then later on you can get a bigger office from them. And again, the charge will be about €1,200. So government has got everything to help you out for your startups if you're doing it. But your startup is from your education itself. So start the day you enter in the college. From there, you start thinking of everything and your innovations also. Become prominent in your college, not notoriety, but prominent persons, in your college, that the knowledgeable is there. They get the companies there, and the companies take the best one from there, from their kid. You take it for the startup. But so you have to show yourself. Education is there, but who is the best salesman? Who can sell the rotten thing at the highest price? So Be a good salesman of yourself. Sell your knowledge to them, when they come. That's how you pass the exam. Examiner also doesn't know everything, and we also don't know everything, but we know the common band. So in that one, you have to sell yourself to the examiner, to the companies, to the recruiter, everybody. And first of thing, you should be honest to yourself. Honest to yourself. There's no harm saying sorry, thank you, and please to anybody. Don't slam the door on anybody when you're walking around, in the university or this one. Even the doctors were coming when we were recruited. We have given them this orientation, in the College of Surgeons here. That these are the things, that's the way they work. Otherwise, they will think from where you have come, and somebody could be a bad person at that time, but if you are opening the door, hold it so that it doesn't slam on somebody. I know from where we are at discrimination. There is a discrimination every nook and corner of the world, starting from the families itself. There is a discrimination. Sometimes people discriminate between a good apple and a little bad apple in the family. They do it, the parents also do it. But there is a limit, but they are still belong to them. So discrimination is there everywhere, but you have to accept it and tolerate it a little bit, but not dwell to the point of the hate. You have to still accept it, that I have to do my work. I've come here to get a work and improve my career onto the ladder. When I came in the country, I had a 13-year experience, but I was working as a junior again, as a registrar I worked, and I rose to the level of the consultant again and retired from there. You can propagate your religion, you can propagate your culture here, nobody objects. I still go and teach Sikh religion in Dublin City University. Trinity College students, they come to the Gurdwara and we look at them. We go to different schools, and we do talk to them, So unless until it's like a lottery. If you don't buy the ticket, you will never get it. So buy the ticket is the goodness and yourself. You have to be in the networking with the people, both socially, in your college and in your recruitment section. Government is there to help you out. Enterprise Ireland is there, local enterprise is there, and IDA is there, and there is a IIB, Irish Indian Business Association is there. You can be a member there, and they can all help you out, And there is no dearth of knowledge and no dearth of any, help here. You can always get it. If one may not, the other will come out. And unless until you ask, nowadays Google is there. So if you don't, Wi-Fi code, everybody knows, Wi-Fi, but you have to know the code. And the code here is your hard work, sincerity, motivation, dedication, and you must be innovative yourself to rise up. Otherwise, you will be one of the lost voice in the crowd, But you have to, you don't have to be rude. You have to be polite, but firm, determined, That's what it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kureji. So as he said, we have given a new dimension for networking, not only networking outside, but within your side. That's more important. So, and also you said, don't hesitate to say sorry, please, and thanks. That will make a tremendous difference in your circle. Right. And then now, let's. So almost now you are overwhelmed with inputs, I guess. So now it's your time to clarify. If you have still any questions or any queries, and we are here, so you can pose your questions. And the people, representatives from other 4 groups, including embassy, 5 groups, so we will try to address. Yes, please. So people, you can start from physical mode first, and then online also, you can please raise your hands there. We will enable you to speak. Yes.
thing I would like to tell to them is that they should get registered with the embassy. All of you should get registered.
This actually we have kept at the last, because we will give you the link. Even we have the demonstration in our website also. So we will tell you where this registration link is. So that in the website, if you go to Indian Embassy website, there's a consular, each tab, the consular tab. The last tab is registration. So as an Indian national who are staying here, if you register with Indian Embassy, so by sharing your details, that will be helpful for us to reach out to you. Right? So thank you so much for having.
Or anything, they can reach out.
Thanks. Please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Suman Najra. I'm doing PhD in Trinity College Dublin, School of Physics, and sponsored by Embassy of India. So I'm a government fellow. So just I'm a third year PhD student. So I have a question so I'm in academia. So actually, after getting my degree, I want to switch to industry. So I know my research problem and I know how I'm pursuing, but my problem is how I could get the industrial exposure. That's my question.
Maybe from someone from academic background can try to answer this.
Yeah, I need industrial exposure. What kinds of problems there? Is there any link between academia and industry? I don't know. I'm pretty confused.
I can possibly take. So, is it okay to sit here and answer? Yeah, so I suppose I can possibly try to answer that question. I was from a research background and I did MSc in molecular medicine and my focus was always research. And I suppose you weren't there when I was speaking and I transitioned to industry. So I think what helped was talking to different companies at that point of time, company representatives. So I visited a few expos, career expos, and I did talk to the career counselor. And I did ask them that what kind of skill set would actually help the industries. They did give me a few points, which were you also have to assess whether you are ready for that transition or not. Because sometimes we do want to do that transition, but there are transferable skills that we need, which should be reflected. So at that time, I did look for them because I was in the genetics and genomics area. There weren't a lot of core companies. There weren't any. So I switched to pharmaceuticals. And since then I've worked in pharmaceutical, medical devices, and diagnostics. And I did move from research to compliance. It was only because I did a rotation. So I tried out different areas in the industry as well. So I started with research, but then I kind of moved around and you do get that opportunity. So companies here are very open to give that opportunity to students. It's kind of like a rotation and you try different things out. And interestingly, I felt compliance was something which I would be interested in because it gave me oversight of the company. So we make it conversational. I would say be open, tell people that you are interested in industry. I'm aware that there are a few kind of associations, even in America and different countries, where they teach you how to do this transition, because when you're in academia, things get very narrow. You're kind of focusing on a vertical, and then it's difficult. Now, I would say just have an open conversation with companies and tell that you're interested, and also talk to CV clinics of how you can tailor your CV so that it reflects transferable skills. I think that's it.
Just talk to their research and development.
Exactly.
Talk to them, they might pick up your idea.
We also run some programs sometimes for graduates.
Yes, like internship.
Yes.
Few people joining by online. They wish to ask some questions.
Sir, can I ask a question, please? Actually, I have closely observed why the United Nations has made yoga award event. As you would be aware, that around 200 nations which are member of United Nations has given yoga as an acceptance, and that's come from the country where we are from. So I was just thinking if first I would like to know, because I'm new here, what provision we have for yoga instructors here. I'm doing a course in sports biomechanics, and I was thinking of promoting it because I closely have observed, as I like to relate modern Vedic science. Am I audible, sir?
I think he wants to promote Vedic sciences and yoga and these kind of things, and he's saying how can we do that? I think that's the question.
Yeah, if we can promote yoga here in Ireland, it would be a pleasure. And what scope we have already, I have hardly seen yoga studios. I contacted them, but I haven't got any positive response so far.
There are already yoga colleges here. There are already yoga colleges here, and you have to go to anybody that you have to go on the advertisement and all that thing, and you have to make your own Facebook page, and you must have made it or on the Twitter, and ask people that you are available to teach them. And I don't know which part of the island you are in, wherever you are, up to that county and some schools, and then you can start from the schools, and then it will go with the word of mouth everywhere around. And you can develop your skills in the college there itself. That's what I think.
Sir, I believe, the colleges, if you can just name the name, can you provide the name of the colleges? Because I haven't come across any college which offers yoga as a course. I took sports biomechanics because I wanted to understand the anatomy and biomechanics of yoga in a deeper aspect, which I would like to propel further. And moreover, I have observed that NHS, which is governing body of the UK, they have given acceptance to yoga as well for their staff. And I was just thinking if we can promote this thing through HSE here in Ireland, that would be wonderful. As you are from the medical background and you know the importance of yoga and the word is doing it, so can't we promote it here through HSE as well?
Yeah, HSE has not tried yet this one, but they are lagging in certain things. They have done with the intercultural guide yet. If any patient of any religion or background, cultural background comes, how can they fulfill their desires in there? But the yoga has just come up in the internationally, it's only a few years, so it will take a time probably. NHS might be advanced in UK, but the HSE is equally advanced, but they will also come up. They have come up with the intercultural guide where the UK has never come up with that one. All over the Europe, the intercultural guide is there for different reasons, and the patients come, how they should be treated, and what are their requirements, and like do's and don'ts when you visit certain intercultural places, and they have published it, it's there on their website. So it's a good thing that the only thing is we can suggest to some politicians here to get that idea with the HSE. That's the only thing we can do it up,
Sir, if it would be wonderful if I can, because I have understanding about the Vedic and Celtic relation as well. There is close affinity with respect to cosmology, cosmography, and astrology and other parts. The Sanskrit is the root, even in the Punjab. All the languages that has been derived from Sanskrit. So I was just thinking it from that perspective. If I can have your number or your email ID, I can just share my ideas and can it be possible?
Possible, but it's a more political decision. It will be more of a political decision by and the HSE, CEO has to decide whether he wants to take this one or that. Only thing is the politicians will decide it. We can certainly put your question to them, you know.
Thank you, sir. That's what I'm thinking. That would be in their hands, and above all, it would be in the hand of the cosmos, or the what the nature really wants. Thank you, sir. Can I have the email ID from where I can get it?
Asking for your email ID.
Yeah, my email ID, I'll send it to you if you put up on the chat there.
Yeah, I can join.
It's my name completely, Jaspreet Singh Puri at yahoo.ie.
Jaspreet Singh Puri.
Jaspreet Singh Puri.
Okay.
You can send a email to me. And okay.
Sir, at the rate Yahoo, is it?
Yahoo.ie.
Yahoo.ie.
The embassy can send it to you, no problem.
Sure, sir. I got it. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. So next we have Akhil Chaudhary.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, I just completed my question. Thank you.
Thanks. So let's move on to the next person. And we are at the end of the event. So we have a couple of questions. I just want to know how the healthcare system is working. Healthcare system.
In terms of
how they are doctors and nurses, they are getting the jobs here.
our doctors and nurses are getting their jobs. No, yeah, so my understanding, and possibly Dr. Puri will be able to better explain on the current process, but usually there are portals where you can apply for government jobs. So it's a government jobs through HSC, right? Is that the question? Yeah. There are tenders which come out as well for nurse positions, and you can look out for them. But then in general, job portals would also advertise roles for GPs and nurses, like, you know, Indeed and some of the Irish portals, irishjob.ie. So you can check there.
One more thing is that for entering this country, you have to clear some exams.
It used to be, yes, for doctors and nurses, there used to be an entrance, kind of like a exam. I don't know exactly right now if that is still a requirement, but definitely a few years back, there was an examination which had to be cleared before they could practice and get a license.
Anybody else joining the online? Yes.
I just had a question. I was really curious about entrepreneurship opportunities. As an international student or international person, are there any special criteria to be met or to be done while starting a startup here?
Well, as of now, you need to be on stamp 4 to start a company. That is my understanding. I'm not sure if that has changed. My last knowledge is you need to be on stamp 4. Now, there are few ways you can actually work with Enterprise Ireland, even when you are, let's say, after you've completed your course. You can talk to them and you can see if they would sponsor a stamp 4 for you, so that you can apply for company registration. But generally, it is stamp 4 that you need to establish a company here.
But I don't have to shift my citizenship. It's nothing like.
No, stamp 4 is residency. It is not citizenship. You don't have to be an Irish citizen to start a company.
And how early do you suggest how much experience is fine for starting company?
It doesn't usually have any particular criteria that you need to have this.
It's your legal stay within the country. And then you get the status from the first year to 4th year. Okay. And that's one way of opening the company. The other way is, even as a non-Irish overseas director, you can open the company while living within India, you can open up a company here. That's an offshore company, and the Ireland does allow, where the two directors could be from there, but they have a full check on them. And all those things, you have to provide all details and notarized copies of the passport and everything you provide to them. Because I know some people have opened up from India itself, because they were importing cheese from here and taking it to India, cheddar cheese and all that. So if you are taking it, you can open up a company which can do both ways, import as well as export. Both ways you can do it while living within India also. If there is something, you have got something idea, then they also give up. As a entrepreneur, if you want to spend money and you are an investor, you can open up a company where they will allow 4 people to have, stamp 4 with you, so that you can bring 4 people with you, provided you are creating 4 more employment here. You can create employment, they will allow you to open the company from overseas also.
And there's a rule of 50%. So let's say if you're employing people, so there needs to be a balance of 50%. So you need to have 50% from here.
You can
And then
open up a company. It depends how much you want to invest, where you want to start.
Wonderful question and very good explanation. Thank you. It's an enlightening thing.
Yeah, I have changed my career totally from hospital to hospitality. Changed it, we opened the Eurasia here, we have done it.
Thank you so
Change
much.
anytime, transfer of talents can be.
Thank you everyone for your contribution today and joining hands with the embassy in welcoming the students. Now, also I like to say 2 more things, sir. One is embassy is planning to hold such more welcome ceremonies with the guidance of ambassador in Limerick, Galway, Cork, and Donegal. This is in person. We can, in coordination with the universities there, we are planning in these months. You will see. And second, now let's show you the link how to register with the Indian Embassy. Just quickly, it will take 1 minute and then we can wind up this session. And we encourage you to come up with such questions, how to start up a startup or an entrepreneur or any other questions which come to your mind. Please write to us, write to embassy. Right? And at the end of the event, we will share with you the email IDs and you can get the card, get my card. And the card, in the card, you have the email ID and WhatsApp number. So you can reach out to us and ask as many questions as you. Suppose if you don't know, then we will reach out to the experts and write it back. So in this, this is the consulate, that tab. At the end of the tab, you have this link. And do follow embassy social media handles so you'll get updates. So these are all the details which you have to give. The name and other details, and then the passport details, and then you can scroll down. This is GNIB, that's IRP details, then other such details. So you can't do it right now. After reaching home, we can do it with the relevant, the required documents. That's it. Okay. Thank you. So on behalf of Ambassador, I thank everyone for joining today and invite you for a light refreshment. Thank you.